All right, we are here with the ladies of paradise, Leanna, Harley, Maddie Manning herself, and Jade. How are you ladies doing?
We're good.
So
Good. Thanks for having us.
Definitely. Thanks for making the trek all the way out to the wooden submarine.
We love it here already.
Awesome. It's good. It smells nice. I think I got the lighting dialed pretty good.
You did.
Yeah.
Cool. This is for the listeners at home, the first podcast that we've done on home turf. So home turf is literally my home. So we have people in my house. It's a real good time. I'm personally a big fan of what you guys curate and cultivate online and in your store. Tell the listeners at home what it is that you guys do.
So this is Jade, the founder and co-owner. Ladies of Paradise is a creative agency, and we're also a brick and mortar store in Portland, Oregon. We have an online store, and we also do monthly events, quarterly events for our company, and they're always like themed and like decked out cannabis consumption events.
Awesome. And yeah, you offer a highly curated range of products in your store. Tell us about that curation process. Where's that come from? Who does that?
Well, all of us really spent a lot of time figuring out who we wanted to have in the store. But honestly, it's anyone that is incorporating cannabis and art in any way. So there's like clothing, jewelry, journals, posters, obviously a ton of smoking accessories, postcards. We're always on the hunt for anyone who's putting like a fun spin on anything cannabis.
Rad. Does most of that come just through like social media, networking with people, being present in places too? Because you guys travel a lot too.
And like honestly, we're really like collaborative and have like a really large like community vibe. So people honestly like send people our way all the time too. Like, oh, my friend told me maybe you would want to carry my stuff, and we're like, we love that so much. But when I first was figuring out like exactly what we wanted, I just like scoured the internet forever, and I found a lot on like Instagram, but also on like Etsy, just like searching different things. But the majority of everything was found online, which is awesome.
That's super rad. That's like a super honest way to like go find producers of things.
For sure.
Like, and then interact with them. I honestly think that's one of the coolest things about Instagram and whatever. I'm rarely on other forms of social media, but like I think it's really cool to be able to actually like reach out to people and be like, yo, I like what you're doing. Is there a way we can work together?
It's really cool too. Like the new features that they've added have made it really, really easy for you to just like share other people's art. Mm-hmm. It's really cool. Yeah. I feel like it's made this like even more of a community effort. Like it just makes it really, really easy nowadays.
For sure. So many people say that we're like the one-stop shop for like everyone they follow on Instagram. So like Blunted Objects makes like really badass like cannabis jewelry, and so we carry them. And then Stigma Style makes these like cool weed shirts that everyone wants, and so we carry those. And then we just like to carry a little bit of like all the like women-owned cannabis brands accessories out there.
Totally. On that, like on those brands, you guys have a very distinctly like Californian vibe to you, being that we're all up here in this dreary Northwest. Like everybody's wearing jackets and hoodies and stuff right now. There's that like hot tea in play for sure.
Beanies all day, every day.
Beanies.
Is everybody from the Northwest? Like, where are y'all from?
I'm from here. She is. These two are not.
Yeah.
I'm an Army brat, so I was born in Kentucky, lived in Puerto Rico, Panama, and all over the place. But I went to high school and college in Houston, Texas, and I moved here from Houston about 4 years ago.
Cool. Yeah, no, you guys, there's something like just distinctly, Californian. It's nice. It's dreamy, it's beachy. Yeah.
Oh, shit. You are. One. I always, for some reason, because every time I say Southern Oregon, you're always like, oh, I grew up there, but it's really Northern California.
Yeah. Like middle of the Redwoods, right on Crescent City, near Brookings,
Anywhere
Oregon.
near Murder Mountain?
I don't think so. I don't know. I hope not.
Yeah, but then I'm from Maine, so I moved out here 6 years ago when I graduated college.
So glad to have you. Apparently, I'm the only true Oregonian in the bunch. I'm just kidding. Except for I'm really not. I just lived here since I was 8, so I feel like it's...
Where did you live before that?
Born in Sacramento, and then moved to D.C., and then here.
Wow.
So basically just here.
Well, could you guys kind of describe what led you on from, being here in Oregon and now that you're here? What was the genesis of this movement or this store agency and everything? What kind of kicked it off?
So when I moved here with my then boyfriend, now fiance, he started a dispensary chain they started as one store, but now they've expanded. But anyway, we moved here from Texas. Ladies of Paradise, before it is what it is now, was jewelry and accessory based, like from markets like all over the world. So I'd go to Guatemala and get bags made, go to the Grand Bazaar and sell like really cool jewelry from there. But then I needed a place to shoot, or needed somebody to shoot with. And so I started looking on Instagram for just like creatives in the area who were like shooting and, styling photo shoots and stuff. And so I met Harley off of a hashtag. And then we ended up living like 2 blocks away from each other in like a tiny,
tiniest town.
3,000 person town. So we started shooting, and then I just started working in dispensaries more, and she was working on a farm with her boyfriend. And so we just started shooting on farms, and we're like kind of bored of our own companies. And so we're like, hey, how about we start this like new like fashion meets cannabis blog? And so we wanted to like highlight a bunch of women who were killing it in the industry. Went down to Humboldt, met some really cool girls in Humboldt, and then really just like found that like there were so many women who were just killing it in cannabis. And so we really wanted to like give a platform to them and like highlight them. And then it just kind of snowballed into what it is now, I guess.
Well, and obviously too, like our style is very eclectic and crazy. And so that was like, it was just like very new in the industry. So we started doing these shoots of like very editorial outfits of like girls that were like in the garden, like testing pH balance and stuff like that.
It seems like super artistic, like it's very like an artistic origin, like a very like isolation and kind of just creativity for creativity, like to express, right?
Absolutely.
Like, and that's a really cool genesis for sure.
Yeah, it was really, I mean, I'm really happy. I feel like we were in the right place at the right time, like being the first people that kind of did this like very, very eclectic, creative, fashionable take on cannabis. But after those shoots, a lot of different brands started reaching out, being like, what is going on here? Like, how can we get shoots for our own brand, that are going to stand out and be different than what else is on the market? And so that's when we started producing like monthly content for brands. And that's a large part of what we do. And it's really, really fun. A lot of the brands we work with have, they have their own special styles, but they've given us a lot of like creative liberty. And I'm our photographer, and it's like so much fun to be like trusted in that sense, to know that like even though it's crazy and different, like people are into it.
That is again super artistic, right? Like you get to scratch your creative
For
itch,
sure.
and which is a super rare thing in the artistic world too, to be able to express yourself and like not be super open to like getting harsh criticism, right?
Totally.
And people are like reinforcing what you're doing. It's like the best. It's the best art.
It
like,
is absolutely the best.
Yeah, that's super cool. Prior to this, what did you all do? Like what?
Yes. So I actually lived in Eugene, and I worked at and managed a dispensary for 3 years, and then actually moved up to Portland to work with Ladies of Paradise. And so that's kind of where I was at before. I was working in the cannabis industry from medical to recreational, so it's been like really interesting to see how the market in Oregon has changed so much in the last like 4 years now that I've been in the industry. But it's been really amazing.
And Leanna gives us a lot of like our cannabis info. Like she's like our go-to girl for like, she knows everything about extracts and like all the facts and regulations.
Everything about everything.
Yeah, and so it's been really great to have someone like Leanna on our team who like just straight up came from like working, knew all the OLCC rules and like things we had to like, abide by and stuff like that. So it's been beneficial that she came from that.
Yeah.
And
all the fun side.
And this is Harley. And I just had my own vintage online clothing store and was managing another clothing store. So that's why I started taking photos in the first place, was to keep up with that online. I went straight from that to working with Jade.
So amazing. I was in kind of like corporate world working. I worked in real estate when I first moved to Oregon, and then worked for Kind Snacks for about 4 years. And then I left them to start with Letterman. And then I recently transitioned to consulting with Ladies of Paradise.
Madeline's badass.
Before Ladies of Paradise started in 2014, I was a jewelry buyer for this like really badass store in Houston that sold like everything from apothecary to jewelry to kitchen equipment, like
furniture, like
furniture. It was
so chic.
It's like a really, really sick store in Houston, and it was just like such a vast like variety of things that like didn't really go together. And so I feel like, I don't know, it kind of like, you know, funneled over into like what we do now. We sell CBD products, but we sell earrings and we sell, you know, bongs, and like just, you know, I like to like have a little bit of everything, and I feel like that's kind of where I got that from.
It kind of is like Cannabis Magpie. Like it really
For
is
sure,
like the best shiny bits from all of what's out there in
Totally.
cannabis.
Really good gifts.
Yeah, for sure. The blunted object stuff is rad.
It's so good.
I
Love
love
her
their
stuff.
stuff so much.
Yeah.
Mel,
That's
she's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sold 2
Love
of her
Melody.
pieces today right before I came.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear about that too. Like, what's your demographic like that rolls into the shop?
It varies, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like, though, I mean, obviously, the majority is female.
Yeah.
And we get, because next door is Polymer, I feel like we get a wide range of ages, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's usually all female. The majority, I would say, is like 21 to 35.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
People who follow us on Instagram, a lot of people come in are like, I haven't been in yet, but I follow you guys on Instagram, and I love you guys. And
It's
so-
been awesome, though. Recently, there has been more dudes coming in and
One
like
of the guys
buying
today.
some of the like t-shirts and merch that we're putting out, and it's really cool. Even like a couple guys have come in and bought like the Girls Support Girls shirts, and they're like, we're so like proud of you guys and excited about what you're doing, and it's like really cool to see like men being on board with that too.
Yeah, a guy came in today and bought the Blunted Objects Fuck It Up necklace.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that one's my favorite.
Classic.
Chad, like, and your focus being on curating female-owned businesses and stuff. One of them actually, Teachable Alicia, is
Yeah.
like a good friend of mine whose stuff I love. Like, how much interaction do you get to have with people outside of this? Again, since you guys travel and stuff so much, like, do you get to have like face-to-face time with people that you're curating content for out of the area? Like,
I would say that we used to have a lot more. I feel like I used to get to see people a lot more. It's been really, really crazy and busy the last couple of months. But it's nice having the store attached to the office because we're there all week. So, like, anytime that anyone's coming to drop off new product or show us, like, something new, we're always there. We all get to see them.
And we like to do pop-ups and stuff. So, like, Teachable, like, she was there for a pop-up we did. And, like, we'll have, like, a lot of the vendors that we carry in the store come in and, you know, have their own table and stuff for special events.
Yeah, and we've been doing a lot more small events lately. We just did one with Cascade AIDS Project for raising awareness for HIV and AIDS testing, so that was awesome. We're going to have our launch party coming up soon for Lady J's on February 14th.
So excited.
So yeah, that's going to be awesome.
tell me about Lady J's.
Lady Jade's is our first cannabis product partnership with... we're partnering with my fiance's grow. It's called The Grow. It's in Southern Oregon. And they already have a range of products out on the market, but one of their best-selling ones is their pre-rolls. And so we're doing our pre-rolls, but we're doing packs of 10 half-gram joints, and they're boxed up in like a little cigarette pack, you know, but it's super cute. We have an in-house graphic designer, and she's such a boss, and she totally killed it on the design. And they're called Lady J's. They have a pink hand stamped paradise on the filter, you know, it reads paradise.
Well, and it's like really exciting for us too because we're gonna partner with him, and then we're gonna like gradually partner with more and more farms, and it feels really cool because there's like so much excess like flower right now to find like to be helping and collaborating in that way to help all those farms like sell it in a different way, because I feel like, I mean, a lot of what I feel is good about Ladies of Paradise is that we are so fashion that like we get some of those fashion people trickling into cannabis, so that's just like another way to try to like get more people to buy this weed the better.
Well, how do you feel that in addition is kind of helping make cannabis more normal, since it's not just being this thing that people are smoking, but now it's on this necklace, it's on this shirt, it's
Totally.
in your life every day?
Well, that was kind of like a huge focus of ours, was like not being so cannabis. Like that you might not even notice that there's like a joint in our hand because it's like packaged up in this nice way. And something that we really want to do with the Lady J's is like kind of help people with stop smoking like cigarettes, and like having it in that packaging, it's like it's familiar and it's good. And we're gonna have CBD joints as well, which really helps with like quitting smoking.
Yeah,
it's gonna be so good. I'm so
no more
pumped.
drooling.
Yeah.
We were actually just talking about that earlier today. Dave and I went to the office, and there was a pound of really nice hemp, like really, really nice hemp. And I'd smoke, and I know I shouldn't smoke. I know
It's
like,
hard.
It's academically, like, I just know. But,
Right.
like, yeah, it's tough, whatever. But I was like, you know what? This is great. Like, I would totally just roll hemp 100%. I rolled cigarettes anyway. So it's like.
And so much of it is just like doing it. Because I was a smoker, and I'm like, I mean, I've been like a month now of not smoking. And
Congratulations.
thank you.
Yeah.
It's so hard. You know, you quit for 3 months and you go back. And I'm really hoping, having this like steady CBD joints that I'm like available to smoke and like have it feel like I'm smoking cigarettes, which like sucks to say, but it's like just even like opening this box, it feels familiar in my hand, and having this, I feel like it'll be a lot easier to continue not smoking.
And I think that's kind of like a cool bleeding edge way to like normalize, right?
Totally.
Like, just like, yeah, no,
Exactly.
man, it's not weed.
And it's like there's always this cool thing. It's like people smoking cigarettes. It like looks so cool, or like something. Like there's always been this
It's so
facade of
cool.
that.
It's been-
And so if we can switch it over, like
We were just talking though, in a previous conversation about how I'm gonna be curious to get your input on this, but like I feel like in a very short period of time we're probably all going to be dinosaurs with the weed smoking, you know,
For
like
sure.
if we're smoking straight flower or whatever.
Seriously.
Like I think we're like,
It'll last.
yeah, for sure. Like I don't know, in my mind at least. Again, I don't know. Like, everybody nodded their head yes.
The vape pens have been like very, very popular, and I think they can be good for certain things, but it's kind of scary too because you see all these new products coming on the market, and there's like no testing or research done to it, and so like forever you had people putting like the fake like terpenes like in food grade oil into their cartridges, which is like it's food grade, it's okay to eat, it's not okay to smoke. We have no idea what these things are going to do to our bodies, and so it's pretty crazy to see how many people like just like don't even smoke weed and just will smoke vape pens all the time, and we have no idea what the effects are going to be.
people are all about convenience. I feel like it's just like
Welcome
that's
to
all they
America.
want.
I know, right? Like I'm a flower girl, so I like to smoke
Yeah,
flower.
you
but
are.
like people like, yeah, I feel like they don't want to like grind it
Yeah.
up anymore and like roll
It's
it
like
up. or,
deal
like-
with it.
That's why
It's
like
like-
pre-rolls are. That's why we're doing a good job with the
Yeah,
pre-rolls
for
because
sure.
everyone wants pre-rolls because they're too lazy to do it themselves that they just want to go into a dispensary and
Yeah.
buy something that's already rolled.
Inconsistent.
Yeah.
Just have the consistent.
Well, and like
thing,
you said, creating that familiar packaging that they're already aware of. They already know this is something I smoke. It looks like this, and you're not going to stand out when you're on the corner because it looks like a cigarette now.
Yeah.
I think that's the other thing is like, even if it's a joint, people still like if you're out and you have Ross mentions he hand rolls, and I'm sure you get looked at like you're smoking joints when you're smoking your cigarettes. I'm sure.
100% of the time, yeah.
And you're not even putting a little bit of weed in there?
No, honestly, I'm not. Because for whatever reason, too, then, yeah, it's just not the same thing. So, again,
weird. It's
if
a
I,
weird
like,
thing.
full stop it, I'm hoping that, like, I can just flip it.
Flip it.
Just flip it. Because I think, again, for me, it's a lot more, and this is a weird thing to say, and this is maybe the other thing, too, that you really can't do with cannabis is, like, and even still with the legalization of cannabis, there's no social ripcord. Where, like, if you just need 5 minutes away from people, and, like,
Totally.
straight up, like, there's
Yeah.
lots of times in my life where I just need 5 minutes. It's really tough in a social situation to be like, guys, I just need to go regroup for 5 minutes. I just whatever. So you're just like, I'm going to go smoke.
Totally.
And it's like an isolationist thing.
It's like
and
an
it's-
instant excuse.
yeah, it really is. Like, it's a ripcord you can pull at any time. And then there's a weird social aspect of it, too, again, because it's, like, last of this dying breed thing. It's like you find strange people on the fringes of dying cultures, right? So, like, you're more than likely to run into an interesting person when you are taking that breather or whatever. Maybe I romanticize it because I'm a smoker. But, yeah, I think if I can just... Yeah, I mean,
okay.
again,
thing.
like, yeah.
Because that's how I feel about like the bathroom, and it's not romanticized. Like I'll be like, I have a small bladder, so it's like, you know, you're just like,
I was waiting for that
time
to
to
connect.
go.
Yeah.
But it's easy, like it's like a thing. So it's always like, well, oh, this car ride's awful. We really got to stop. You know?
Yeah.
Remember that
Yeah.
next time.
I just, yeah. I don't know. So I think maybe if I can, this hemp I smelled today was unbelievable. It was super affordable. I honestly couldn't believe that it was just hemp. And I was like, I could roll with that maybe. And I'm pretty.
Gotta try. Maybe when these Lady J's come out.
Oh yeah.
I'm about that.
Yeah.
Actually, we were talking. We'll have to talk later about a thing. But I really would that'd be rad. I would love to have just hemp rolled up to smoke. And there is something that's strangely appealing to old people like me and you about the format of a cigarette
and
the
having
act
it in that
of,
box.
Which is also, I think, really a kind of a fashion thing in a sense, is that you all are more attuned to the sensory feedback of things, which I don't think. I mean, I can say this: everybody in marijuana, and I think you'll agree, whatever, hot take, a little self-important, right? And maybe everybody does care about, but when it comes down to it, I guess it's cost of packaging and stuff. Yeah. So there's all these trade-offs that you make, but again, being that you come from that background and you represent what you do, I'm super excited to see it, because I'm sure it will be an interesting tactile experience, and it'll look completely different or whatever.
Yeah, they're even better in person. When we got them printed out and folded up, everyone was freaking out because they look really pretty on the design, but then they come out and you're like, oh my god, it's real.
It's like hearing your song on the radio or something like that.
Yeah. I know.
That would be nice.
It's gonna happen.
So when does the album drop? When do these come out?
Really? Next year.
No, the Lady J's are the 14th, you said?
Yeah, they come out on the 14th. We're having a launch party at our store the same day on the 14th from 4 to 7. And then we have High Five tours parked outside for consumption.
Cool.
We're doing kind of a happy hour party because, it's Valentine's Day.
People can come get nice and stoned before they go to their dinner.
Mm-hmm.
That's really adult. That's super classy.
We're just really trying to look out for our people.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We know what they want.
Yeah.
They want to get high and go eat food.
Yeah.
For sure.
Give the people what they want.
I mean, you want to protect your Valentine's Day a little bit too. Let's be real.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And congratulations to you, new mother to be.
Yes,
fantastic.
thank you.
Yeah, totally.
Super, super excited.
Does that play into the early evening happy hour thing? Because you're we got things to do.
Maybe a little in the back of my mind. No, we just wanted to take care of, make sure people could go out to dinner and stuff because it's Valentine's Day. But I am going to sleep really early. I am super tired these days, and it's really weird because I'm not a napper or someone needs to,
or even a sleeper.
Yeah. So now I'm oh my god, you guys, I need to I had to go home and take a nap yesterday, and I fell asleep for 3 hours in the middle of the day, and so that's different for me. But at least I don't have morning sickness, which I hear is really bad, and I guess I got blessed with the no nausea, so I'm happy.
That's awesome. How do you see motherhood changing the dynamic of what you do?
A lot of people have been asking me that, and saying, I can't wait to see how you got, how you bring motherhood into Ladies of Paradise. And I don't know. I think that it's something it's so new right now, and so the only real difference is that I've stopped smoking I was, and I have headaches, and I'll have my little vape pen that I'll hit from time to time, but for the most part it's been a super big lifestyle change already. And I think that as I get more pregnant, we'll see. And then I don't know, I like to talk about it in our blog that we have coming out. I get a bunch of DMs asking about it, asking me whether I still smoke or if I know what, if it's bad or good. And and there's an Instagram that I follow called Cannabis and Parenthood by Kira Faye, and she just covers motherhood, and actually she covers pregnancy and cannabis and breastfeeding and cannabis. And so it's just really interesting to start learning about all these things that I really didn't really explore that side of cannabis before. And so I think that it's just going to be a gradual thing that I figure out where I'm comfortable.
How do you think that art will kind of imitate life with what you guys are doing, and maybe eventually kind of reach out into maybe onesies or any of those type of products?
Babies of Paradise.
I know so many people are Babies of Paradise. Yeah, I don't know. It's so funny actually. When I started, when I was going to Guatemala a bunch, I sold the cutest little onesies. They're all Guatemalan fabrics, and they were so cute. And I'm like, yeah, it's all coming full circle. But no, I don't know. We probably, I don't really
see my mom's high.
Just kidding.
I don't know. I think that there's a fine line with that. You know, I think that I definitely wouldn't want to like advertise that cannabis is cool for like children or like put weed leaves on a onesie or something,
sure.
you know. But I think that being a mother and consuming cannabis is totally okay, and that I think that I'm just going to be a bigger advocate for people who are fighting to like normalize smoking weed when you're an adult and a mother and a parent.
I think that it's good. I feel like it's like going to be good for the whole team, even to just like being like healthier and more aware. And like a lot of our brand is about like compassion and love. And I feel like just like having a child in the mix just like brings out that more in
totally.
women,
I mean, like, already I feel like we went pretty hard last year. So
we really did.
I think that already, you know, it's like couldn't come at a more perfect time. You know, I found out I was pregnant right before the new year, you know, and then I have a bunch of things going on this year now. I mean, I'm getting married, have the baby, like we're launching all these products and stuff. And so I think that it's just like time was like on our side. And I think that it was the best time that it could have happened. And already, I mean, everyone's like taking a step back and quit drinking a little and like, you know, just really like reel it all in and plan for the year.
You said it earlier too, like right place, right time, kind of. But like it's less that too. It's just that you are, I think, present and engaged for things to happen organically, and that's something that I really appreciate actually about the store. The first time I came in, is like you guys have like again very fashion, right? Very fashion, very produced presence online, and the store is like really soulful. Like it's it's soulful, like and kind of I didn't expect it. I expected it to be like. And I mean that in the best way. Like, I just expect it to be way more sheen, but it has soul, which is really cool. And that, again, I think you're just letting stuff happen organically, and that's why.
Yeah, we're huge believers in manifesting. We do new moon, full moon rituals, like every new moon, full moon, hosted by Jen, one of our really good friends, Jen Moon Dancer. And so I think as a group, too, we really, like, push each other to be like, what are your goals? What do you want to do? Where do you want to see yourself? And I think like that and like you're saying, being present and holding each other accountable, like is a huge part of it.
Yeah, it's nice not to hear like the future casting, right? You're just like, I don't know, I'm like here and this is what I'm doing.
And to like a lot of what we have done, we've learned how to do it this last year. And that's like kind of been like something we've been really proud of is it's like, no one's going to hold us back. We're not going to let anything hold us back. We're going to try. And if we can't do it, then we know we can't do it. But if we can, then that's fucking awesome. And every single thing that we've tried to do, we've been able to. And it's been really important to us to like, do what we love to do. It's like, we're doing this and we love doing it because we're all doing it together. We're believing in each other. We're doing like what we think is right, and we don't want to waver from that. We don't want to like just like do something because it's trendy or be this other way because it's what we're supposed to do. We like genuinely want to do what we want to do.
Could you guys describe your events, like your launch? What it'll be? I mean, is there public smoking? How do you like? What is like? How would you make an ideal event?
So we have a couple different kind of events. So the small events that we do at our store, like for Lady J's launch, that will be just like in the store, it's private, small event. And we don't have any smoking there, but we usually work with the High Five tour bus to go outside so that there is like a way for people to go like consume cannabis safely and legally. And then we do larger events, our quarterly events, which are more experiential marketing, do a lot of interactive art installations, things like that.
Live music.
Yeah. We're going to be expanding and going into Denver actually in March, which we're really excited about, Electric Avenue. And so our events, those large events tend to be a private, large cannabis consumption event. So we always make sure it's on private property and you can consume inside. We get various vendors from like dabs, joints, just make it like a really fun party and try and like end the stigma on cannabis consumption.
Very rad. So February 14th. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say we since we're a very big like Instagram heavy brand, like there's a crazy just like crazy photo sets everywhere, like disco balls. Last time we had like our graphic designer built our last one was British Invasion, and we had the Octopus's Garden as one of our sets, and we built like a huge like sequin pink octopus tentacle. They're just like really like out there and crazy and unexpected. I mean, like in LA.
That was one of my favorite things when I first came into your shop. It really stoked me out. I was like, this is really cool. Again, soulful, like crafty.
Exactly.
It's fun. It's great.
You
Like,
couldn't get rid of that. No way.
And it's like we really have to be. I mean, throwing cannabis consumption events is no fucking joke. Like we can't go into a beautiful place. Like the majority of like beautiful halls or event spaces don't allow smoking. So we usually have to go into pretty like nitty gritty places, take everything down, and redecorate the whole place. Like it's a lot harder than parties really are. Like I mean, I like applaud us a lot for like what we do to event spaces, because it's like 10 girls like putting in 20 hours of like doing, like it's a lot, but it looks so cool. And it's like the cannabis industry deserves those really fun parties just like any other industry deserves that. Like
Definitely. And we're seeing like that's like the hugest thing. I think that's an issue with throwing events is the venues, because in most states right now there's not like good options for cannabis consumption lounges.
Rich people need to start buying up places and letting people smoke in them, because I feel like they'd make so much money.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, but there's just like a huge lack of good venues to choose from, and it's in most states. Like it's not something, I think in California, especially in Hollywood, in the next year we're going to be seeing a lot of cool lounges pop up, but you know the other states need to fall in line and start figuring something out. Oregon especially.
Come on, Portland. Let's go. We're looking for you.
I'm curious to see how LA shakes out with their consumption stuff. I spent most of my summer down there doing events, largely in people's homes in the Hollywood Hills or whatever, because like you say, like it's all this weird, it's not gray, it's like consumption parties are illegal still, so
grungy.
Yeah, totally.
But we're cool with that.
Yeah.
It's a
Rad.
Portland vibe. Was it
Cosmo grunge? That's us.
That's awesome.
Because we were in Vegas, when we're in Vegas, we're like dressed real crazy. But somebody said that was our look, and we were like, that is our fucking look.
Cosmo grunge. We're taking it now.
Into it.
What did you do in Vegas? MJ BizCon, clearly.
What are we not
sorry,
doing in
but,
Vegas? I'm like, oh, that's a loaded question.
I came back and I slept for 31 hours straight. I lost a whole day. It was insane. Shows you why this year we are calming down.
That's crazy. I know that there was like 1,010,000 things different going on, but like we podcasted down there, so they kept it super responsible. But like I did not attend one single party.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
no.
The
They're so
Willie's
fun.
Reserve one was awesome.
Yeah,
We
I
actually
also
all got
usual.
tattoos.
Yeah.
What?
Should we show Ross?
Yeah, here we go.
Rad.
Always on my mind. Willie
That's
Nelson.
rad. Those are rad. That's super cool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I should have come to that party.
That one
Next
was really
year.
cool.
That's
We
fun.
could all have
Okay.
matching tattoos.
We're trying
Yeah,
to throw
totally.
a party in Vegas next year, too.
Keep an
After,
eye out for it.
yeah, so go to the Willie's Reserve and then hopefully come to ours.
Rad. Yeah, no, I don't know what it was. We went to a cactus farm 3 days in a row.
Oh,
That
fun.
sounds really fun.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Is
super
that where you
fun.
got some of your cactuses
That
downstairs?
is where I got a lot of the cactuses downstairs. I never want to be the guy at the airport like sweating and rushing, and like I feel like when you're traveling it's very like representative of like where you're at,
Totally.
right?
Agree.
Yeah.
So I was totally that guy leaving Las Vegas for like just like late, like cardboard box full of cactus and stuff. Like no joke, 42 pounds of cactus. I was bringing it back on this plane. Like everybody's just looking at me like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Actually, and I'm like, you don't get it. You don't get
Are
it.
they like cheaper there, or like prettier?
Yeah, what was
or
so
what?
special
What's
about
up?
that cactus?
Yeah. Okay. So Moon Sun Cactus Nursery and Koi Nursery, Las Vegas, Nevada. They're just like a cactus nursery. So
It's
like
amazing.
straight up like how we go to whatever 7Ds or Portland Nursery here in town and stuff is just cheap. Like it's really cheap.
I mean, I
down
imagine
there.
there's like so many cactuses that grow out there. They just,
This is stupid.
Jade,
but
next time.
Yeah.
maybe we should drive.
So-
that's actually a
We
thing
were
of-
supposed
of
to
ours,
drive.
is that we break off a piece of cactus
like
from,
wild cactus or from
Yeah.
someone's
Oh.
lawn.
And then, like, you should have seen the one that I had that we brought from California. I, like, didn't have it in water for, like, 3 days, and then I put it in soil and water, and it, like,
grew so
sprout. It was our friendship cactus.
I know.
Oh, I love
See,
that.
that's rad. We're actually going to be actually, this is good. Phil from Letterman
Yes,
is
Phil.
a good friend of mine
And mine.
and
Same
yours.
thing.
Yeah,
All
y'all
of
know
ours.
Phil.
Oh,
Y'all know
yeah,
Phil.
he's the
Everybody know
best.
Phil. Everybody know Phil. David also loves cactus. We're gonna throw a pop up in the springtime. I'm gonna bring up a bunch of cactus and I'm gonna do a pop up. You guys can totally come hang out and
Okay,
have
perfect.
cactus
Sounds
time.
amazing.
We're there.
Yeah, it's gonna be called Everything Sucks. 2 C's, succulents.
Oh my
It's gonna be
gosh.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
good.
no,
What
it's
is-
so
I
real.
love-
Like
I
I'm not
like
even
that.
joking.
Does Phil have a bunch of cactuses, or is he gonna do succulents?
No, like this is kind of an excuse for me to go just. So I shook down the folks in Las Vegas,
Oh,
and they told me the plug on the cactus,
Okay, that's what you need
are
to
you
tell
gonna?
us.
and I'm gonna fly to this place, and I'm gonna get a U-Haul, and I'm gonna
This
spend
sounds like an adventure.
like $1,000 in cactus. I'm gonna bring them back to the Northwest. We go back downstairs.
Sounds
and-
amazing.
So
Yeah, it
we
does.
can. This is
Yeah,
back.
we're in.
I've got stuff outside and things. So we actually I think this will be a thing. But like, I'm down to. There's a lot of cold tolerant cactus, and we can nerd out on this later. But I think people will start xeriscaping more and more as water is a commodity, and so like drought tolerant plants, deer tolerant plants up here are very
For
commodity
sure.
too.
Yeah.
So we can totally cactus nerd out. But yeah, I was fully that guy.
Perfect. We'll help you promote it.
Cool.
Yeah.
We could come with you.
Yeah.
You- honestly, like
What
it would
state
be.
is what state is the plug in?
It is in California.
Okay.
That's easy.
Yeah.
Let's all
Yeah.
road trip.
Like seriously, like
I love a
it's
road trip.
I'm it's so happening. And really, it was just the excuse. I don't even know what Phil had a space that we're gonna do it in. Maybe I don't know, but yeah,
love
it's
it.
like very much. We had the graphic designer do some stuff.
Oh, it's really happening.
No, no joke.
Let's do it.
Have you been? Like, there's a shop in Los Angeles called Cactus Shop, and like the first few times I went there, I was just like, oh man, this is rad. It's just like cinder blocks and cactus and stuff. I was like,
Wild.
that's all you really need to throw a cactus. So if you have good taste in cactus, then
Which
can-
we do.
Yeah,
Is it
cool.
downtown?
It's an Echo Park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
they're
love
just
cactus.
nerds. Yeah,
Yeah.
rad. Well, cool. Lady J's February 14th at Ladies of Paradise on Instagram. Do you guys Twitter? You guys Twitter things?
You know, we're
We
working
should.
on our tweet game, so we're gonna start that up soon.
cool.
Watch out.
But follow us on Instagram.
Follow the Instagram.
Yeah, follow the Instagram. We're always active on there. And yeah, February 14th, Ladies of Paradise, Lady J's. It's going down.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Thank you very much for taking the time coming out. Appreciate it
Thanks
very
for
much.
having
Yeah.
us.
It's
Totally.
so nice to see you.
Yeah, likewise. Cool. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.